Hi, I'd just like to talk in this episode in relation to building and pest reports. Normally, most contracts that one enters into will be subject to a building and pest report. Now, with respect to your building and pest report, one thing that is not always covered in them or by the building inspector is inspecting the electricals in a property. So, and you won't often be told that until after the report's been done, and there'll be a small disclaimer by the inspector in his report saying that we did not cover, or this report does not cover, anything to do with the electricals. Now, we always advise our clients that when you approach an inspector or to engage an inspector to carry out an inspection of the property, you ask them, do you also inspect the electricals? Now, if they say no, that's fine, but just ask them, well, look, whilst you're doing the inspection, could you, and you're up on the roof, could you just have a look at that? And if in their opinion it needs further investigation, then you can engage an electrician to come out and do an inspection. I'll tell you why. We've had about 4 cases over the last 2.5 years. The most recent one was of a client who bought a property in Redlands for quite a lot of money. They didn't take our advice with respect to getting the electrician to do an inspection. The building inspector didn't cover that as part of his brief, and within 3 months it cost them $15,000 to get the electricals done because all the wiring was had it. And so a major expense 3 months after moving into a property. So there's another tip which could potentially save you thousands. Just make sure that at some point somebody has a look at the electricals in that house you're proposing to purchase. Another thing with respect to building and pest reports I always say is that if at all possible, I always suggest that you, the client, attend with the inspector when he's carrying out that inspection. For the simple reason that as and when he comes across potential problems, he's able to speak to you there and then about it. He can point out to you exactly where it is, and he might also be able to give you some indication as to what the cost may be to fix that. Quite often we'll have clients who are scared witless when they get a building report because they didn't attend the inspection, and of course the inspector's job is to point out each and every fault that he comes across, and that can be quite daunting when you receive the report and all of a sudden you see there's 58 items listed there as potential problems and you think, my God, the place is going to fall down. But if you actually take the time to work through each of those items, a lot of them can, in most circumstances, be of a minor nature. Whereas if you're there with the inspector and he can point those things out to you, point them out he must to you, but then he can also explain to you, how severe they are, or whether they're structural problems or cosmetic problems, and you can work your way through that report with him. So that's another piece of advice that I think is important for people when they are purchasing their property and going through that phase of a building and pest report. So I hope that's been of help. Thank you.